Welcome everyone to this channel about SimCity BuildIt. New update of the game, this time as usual, a minor update version 154.6. Let's take a look at all the highlights of this version, the improvements it brings, and the details and issues. This time the Mayor's Pass is about Cape Town, South Africa, and this pass brings an event. My name is Atlantis, and I belong to the Isla Atlas Club. Let's start this review. On Monday, 29th of April 2024, the minor version of the game was released, and it was available a little earlier than usual. It came out on the same Monday when it usually comes out on Tuesdays. It's version 154.6, so it's a minor release, which corresponds to development version 124,220, and is dated 18th of April 2024. And we start immediately, but not before thanking the collaboration of Legionman, who analyzes a lot the updates, and Innuika, for her innumerable notes about bugs and other things that I will tell you at the end of the video. Greetings Leg. Greetings Innuika. Let's start with the first section, novelties. And this time it remains unrated. Minor releases usually don't bring any novelty changes. Usually. That said, the interest, execution, and impact of the novelty, as well as the pre-novelties features, are not evaluated because we have no evidence of things that are going to be released at the moment. So let's quickly move on to the changes to the user section, where we look at the first characteristic, the Mayor's Pass. This time they've dedicated the theme to Cape Town, South Africa. So anyone with an affinity for this geographical area or this city is in luck. In introducing this, the developers have improved and introduced something that I'll tell you about later, and that has to do with the pass. As for the Mayor's Pass itself, it's business as usual, with 10 cards of Comic Hand and 40 cards of Giant Rock Monster in the Premium Pass, and 10 more cards, this time of Fish Astir in the Premium Plus Pass. Pretty much as usual. The most iconic buildings on this Cape Town Pass are Cape Town Stadium, African Safari, the Cape Town Waterfront, Castle of Good Hope, Cape Point Lighthouse, and Boulders Beach. In this characteristic on the Mayor's Pass, I give it a 10. On to the event, which this time is a bit weirder, because in the event, they've put something admittedly curious. It's silly, but I had to comment on it. The event is about the May Parade. Oh, I don't know if that's what it's called in English, which is what you get if you complete it. But what happens in this event is that the levels are repeated 2 times, one with less and one with more reward. Surely when this video comes out, this event is already over, but well, I mean, you get simoleons when you complete the first level, and then the same thing happens in the third level of this event, being a bit more generous. At level 2 you get llama speed up tokens, and at level 4 you get llama speed up tokens again, though at level 4 with a little more reward. It also happens with golden keys and with regional simoleons. The most important thing is that they have added an event, so my score for this characteristic is a 10. Looking at the playability, it's pretty much the same. There's hardly any change, and it's not worth rating it, because it hasn't really been decompensated, for better or worse. So we move on to the next section, fixes and improvements. And in the first characteristic, bug fixes, I was told by Innuika, Villa de Sevilla, that the developers have fixed the problem with the station slots. The problem is no longer so serious, and that is a relief. Thank you Innuika for posting it on Discord. We don't know exactly when they fixed it, but it's really something very important that's fixed. It was something I've discussed in a previous video, and I've said that the programmer who screwed this up had to be on top of his game to fix it. And fortunately it has been. So on this characteristic I give it a 10. We move on to the next characteristic, the game improvements. And here there are several. They're simple, but they're there. One is that they've added a new item in landscaping. As I said before, taking advantage of the new pass, they've added the African savanna and the large African savanna as a decorative element, which is really appreciated, as there was little variety in dry landscapes. Another improvement are 2 new skyscrapers that join the 3 previous ones. One is the Gold Key Legendary Skyscraper and the other is the Platinum Key Legendary Skyscraper. The Platinum one will be the one that many will install first, knowing that if you are a warrior of battles, the Platinum Keys are probably the ones you have the most of. It's not bad, it's still the same style. I mean, it doesn't offer more inhabitants or any kind of influence on anything, it's just a new skyscraper to collect. It also doesn't offer a global atmosphere over the landscape, like the abandoned one had. But hey, it's just another improvement. You're probably looking at a picture of the Platinum Skyscraper in Frosty Fjords, which looks pretty spectacular. In addition to this, Legionman told me that it seems that the advertising board is now vertical. Although I've seen this one before, and I think it depends on the piece of land where the game places it. But I'm still wondering, so if anyone wants to comment on this video, I'd love to know more. You can also do it in the Discord group. There is a specific room for the latest update, and there you can leave your thoughts on the subject. On this characteristic of game improvement, I give it an 8. On the next characteristic, graphics. I can't say anything more because the actual graphics of the skyscrapers and scenery have already been analyzed in improvements. So let's move on to the next section, defects and bugs. There is, or was, a rather unfortunate bug in the game. But I'm not going to analyze it in bugs, the first characteristic, because it didn't really stay as a bug. As it appeared and was solved after a few hours, I'm putting it in other errors. Here again, I want to thank Innuika for informing us all about the bug she finds in the Discord bugs room. The bug was paying SimCash to advance the shipment by ship, and the ship never arrived. It's a bug that makes you lose SimCash, and it's also not a nice thing to do with the contest of mayors, which can cause you to lose tasks that can then lead to a league where you come second instead of first or fourth instead of third. Luckily it worked out. So my score here is a 5. It would have been a 0 if it had been maintained. But having had a solution, I leave the score in the middle, because the damage was there for hours. And in others, the last characteristic of this analysis, I have to add a general incident which remained as an anecdote and which I will talk about briefly, because I will comment more deeply on this in a video opinion. The incident is that it seems that a group of hackers took the time to fill the global market with normal chairs. By saturating cities by selling them, they saturated the global market with them until there was nothing else to see. It took a day, or maybe 2, until the developers corrected it. And then you always have the uncertainty. If I buy chairs from guys I know are crackers, hackers, will I get a partial ban? So that's quite a problem. On this characteristic of others, I give it a 5. So that's 48 points in total, between 6 characteristics analyzed, giving an overall average of 8 points. After this score, it's another record-breaking review since I've been studying the game updates in this way, and it's the minor update that has achieved the best score. It's simple but efficient. If you want to keep up to date with the videos I publish, subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell to do so. And remember that a like helps me to know if you liked the video. By the way, most of the videos I release are now in English, because I started in January to release them in English, and my intention is to put them on a par with those already in Spanish, which are many more. So that's the reason why there are not so many videos in Spanish. However, in the private zone, they do appear in Spanish and English. So if you are interested, become an exclusive member of the YouTube channel to see the special videos that are shown privately. And I wanted to comment on one last thing that Innuika explained to me again to inform you in video. But given the volume of work, I may not get it out for many weeks, so I'm telling you here so you know and don't fall into the trap. There is a growth pack that developers put out for smaller cities to grow faster. You might buy this pack because you want to get to an event to get a special building, or for any other reason. But what it gives you, however, you will get little by little as you grow in your city. It's a way of forcing you to grow with your city. But this is sometimes a mistake, a big mistake. In English, I haven't shown the 90 Neo trick of the channel yet, nor the 941, but I have commented on a few other tricks about how to grow a city. People may buy that growth pack thinking that you will get the rewards immediately. When they don't, you get them as you grow. And if you have no thought of reaching level 22, then this is a problem. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look for the tricks about growth in the channel, which will clarify everything a lot. So, in case you want to buy this growth pack, be smart enough to know that you're going to reach level 22 and that you are already close to it, because otherwise you invest for nothing. I hope this last note is useful for you. And I also hope you liked this review of this minor version of the game. See you at SCBI. Greeting to all.